Thanks, Eric. It is 7:07. We're getting you ready for a stormy St. Patrick's Day. The great news is, as you get out the door this morning, the weather's actually pretty nice for the South Shore. We're waking up in the 60s with calm conditions and no rain around. Now, North Shore, not the case. You can see it is a bit more active up there. Radar showing we're tracking showers and a few storms, especially in Tangipahoa Parish and Washington Parish. That's where a lot of the rain is going to stay for the next couple of hours. So if you are from I-12 to the north, you're going to get the rain this morning, at least early this morning. Here south of the lake, we got to wait a couple more hours before we start to see the storms roll in. What I'm going to be watching later this morning is this line of storms extending down from Lafayette to the Gulf of Mexico. This is heading our direction for the South Shore and the river and bayou parishes. That will get to us in the next about 3 to 4 hours, depending on where you're at. So let me walk you through the timing of how the rain evolves for your St. Patrick's Day. South Shore for the next couple of hours, we are fine. North Shore, you're dealing with showers, maybe an occasional wind gust to about 30 miles an hour. Doesn't look too bad. As we get into the 9 and 10 o'clock hour, storms start to approach Morgan City, Thibodaux, up through the river parishes and Laplace. Once we get towards the 10 and 11 a.m. hour, storms start to approach the city of New Orleans, down towards Lafitte, Grand Isle, and then they'll continue to advance off to the east here. Now, as that initial line moves through, notice lots more reds, darker colors. These storms have the potential to be strong, so that would be through the about 8 or 9, 10, 11 a.m. hours when our severe weather threat will be at its highest. Once we get into the noon and 1 o'clock hour, still some showers certainly, but it will be turning much colder and windy, and the severe weather threat will come to an end, but it is still going to be somewhat of a rainy and colder afternoon. Rainfall totals look to be about an inch for most people. A lot of locations might even see about an half an inch to an inch of rainfall. Higher totals are going to be north of the lake and just to the west of us, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, where they're already getting some rain. That's where you could see 2 inches by the time it's all said and done today. Those temperatures are doing the dramatic swing. We warm up for the next, several hours. We get up to around 73, 74, and then once we get to about 11 to noon, those strong storms roll in, and then immediately following them, it gets colder, and we're dropping into the 50s with a strong wind for the rest of today. So if you don't have a jacket this morning, you will want one by this afternoon. The weekend stays chilly, but look at this. Monday morning, gonna be cold, freeze. Hopefully our last freeze of the year, but a freeze north of the lake, a little frosty all the way down to Houma, through central Lafourche Parish, even on the West Bank, Belle Chase, you could drop down to around 37 degrees. Here in the city, I'm forecasting 40. The lake temperature is currently at about 69 degrees, so that will certainly help us out some here on the South Shore, but North Shore all the way down to I-12 and north of I-12, you have a freeze in the forecast, and that means your plants, if you can protect them, that would be a good idea. That's Sunday night into Monday, also the first day of spring, but you wouldn't know it based on the temperatures. There's your 7-day. Going to be a really chilly, windy weekend. A few showers around on Saturday, highs in the low 50s. Sunday looks drier, but it'll still be cool. Colleague?